When Daniel lost everything, nobody stayed. Not his friends. Not the woman he loved. Not even the people who once needed him. And the scary part? He didn't beg them to. At 30 years old, Daniel woke up every morning with a heavy chest and no direction. The room he lived in was small and lifeless. A thin mattress on the floor. Peeling paint on the walls. A single window that barely lets light in. This wasn't how his life was supposed to look. Years earlier he had been full of plans. Big dreams. Confidence. But life doesn't care about plans. The job he trusted collapsed. Savings disappeared. Bills piled up faster than he could breathe. Days blended into nights. Nights turned into long hours of staring at the ceiling, asking questions with no answers. His phone stopped ringing. At first, friends said things like, "Don't worry, it'll work out." Then it became silent. The hardest loss wasn't money. It was her. She had promised to stay. Promised to believe in him. But belief has limits when life gets uncomfortable. One evening, she stood near the door with her bag already packed. She didn't shout. Didn't insult him. She just said quietly, "I'm tired of struggling. I need stability." Daniel nodded. Not because he agreed, but because he had no strength left to argue. When the door closed behind her, the room felt even smaller. Later that week he ran into old friends. They avoided eye contact. Conversations felt forced. One of them laughed awkwardly and said, "Man, life is tough. You'll bounce back." Then climbed into a car Daniel couldn't even afford to dream about. That moment hurt more than rejection. Because Daniel realized something painful. People don't abandon you loudly. They fade away quietly. Soon, survival became the only goal. Cheap meals. Long walks instead of transport. Counting coins before buying anything. Daniel applied everywhere. Emails unanswered. Interviews canceled. Promises that led nowhere. Some nights, hunger kept him awake. Other nights, shame did. He questioned his worth. His intelligence. His existence. There was a moment, just one, where he sat on the floor and wondered if trying again even made sense. But then he remembered something his father once said. Life doesn't end when you fall. It ends when you stay down. That night, Daniel made a quiet choice. He would stop explaining himself. Stop asking for sympathy. Stop announcing his pain. He wouldn't disappear to impress anyone. He would disappear to rebuild. Daniel vanished from everyone's life. No updates. No social media. No stories. While others were sleeping, he was learning. While others were partying, he was working. Small jobs at first. Long hours. No recognition. There were days his body ached. Days his mind screamed at him to quit. But something inside him had shifted. He wasn't chasing validation anymore. He was chasing freedom. Weeks turned into months. Months into years. Slowly, opportunities appeared. Not miracles. Not shortcuts. Just progress. For the first time in a long while, Daniel felt in control. He learned patience. He learned discipline. He learned that silence can be powerful. And most importantly, he learned who he was without applause. 3 years later, Daniel received an invitation. A business conference. At first he hesitated. Then he smiled. Walking into the hall, he felt calm, not nervous. The room was filled with people who once overlooked him. Some faces were familiar. Some froze when they recognized him. When his name was announced as a partner, the room fell quiet. Whispers spread. Eyes widened. The same people who once avoided him now watched closely. Daniel walked to the front, steady and composed. No revenge speech. No dramatic moment. Just confidence. Success didn't make noise. It spoke for him. After the event, someone approached him. It was her. She looked different. Careful. Uncertain. She congratulated him. Tried to explain the past. Daniel listened respectfully. Then said something simple. "I understand why you left. I just needed to grow without distractions." There was no anger in his voice. Because he no longer needed closure. He had something better. That night, Daniel stood alone on a balcony overlooking the city. The same town that once ignored him. He thought about the nights he cried quietly. The days he felt invisible. The people who left. And he smiled. Not because he proved them wrong. But because he survived. Life didn't reward him for suffering. It rewarded him for persistence. Sometimes life breaks you on purpose. To remove the people who can't keep up with you. And sometimes, losing everything is how you find yourself. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video and turn on your notifications.